Hello everyone. So I would like to introduce you to Hannah. Hannah is my baby. She's 4.5 months old. And why I'm bringing her on stage is when we thought about having a child, or when I found out I'm pregnant, there are many things, you start thinking about much more in depth. For example, we heard about environmental pollution in China. We heard about food safety. And you think about, do I really want to bring up a child in this world? And how do I raise her? Now, me as an expert, I have an opportunity. I can just leave. I can just move back to Germany. I can just move back to London. And I can escape the situation. But many children or many other women cannot. So it's one thing to start my organization, which focus on social entrepreneurs. It was another thing, and Hannah, who brought me to supporting specifically other women to actually solve these social and environmental issues I was scared about for Hannah. And because I know everyone watches Hannah, I give her away, so I can actually give her a speech. So I would like to share with you how 3 areas where I think women already make a significant impact on social change. And one of those areas where I think we need to think more about supporting women. Not because I'm a feminist or because I think, women are extraordinary individuals, but because I think that the potential of women has not yet been fully utilized. One area in which women are already making a significant contribution to social development is in microfinance. In recent years, a lot of attention by national and international organizations has been given to supporting women as entrepreneurs. And a special focus has been on micro-entrepreneurship, giving women a small loan so that she can start a livelihood business. This has been going on in Bangladesh, in India, in Latin America, in Africa, as well as China. Yet, often those women can start small businesses, but they have difficulty in expanding those operations. They are stuck at a certain level because they lack further investment, they lack further business training to take it from a livelihood business to a small enterprise to scale. But they contribute to not only the development of themselves, to their self-sufficiency and to their political contributions, but also to their well-being of their families. They mostly reinvest their profits and their income to the well-being of their children. They give them education, they provide health, and this again contributes to the well-being of the whole community. So that's one area where women make an impact on social development. The other area is women business owners or women entrepreneurs in war-torn areas. If you remember the war in Bosnia, more than 100,000 people were killed or missing. More than 1 million people were displaced. In Afghanistan, much about what we know about Afghanistan is about a country wrecked by war, insurgency, and political turmoil. Yet studies have shown that while the men are either killed or injured in war, it is often the women who are left behind. And studies have shown that up to 30% of a society are actually made up of widows. In Afghanistan, 1/3 of households are led by women, and half of them live in dire poverty. Now, women in this war-torn area often respond to the necessity, but also they see opportunities in starting small businesses and becoming economic actors. They start businesses from making handicrafts to running small factories producing clothes, to all kinds of businesses. One of those women is called Touch. She started a business in 2005 in Afghanistan, which supports widows and disabled people. And what she does is she finds those individuals and then she trains them how to make soccer balls. And those women and disabled people can work from home. They also get mentorship and everything else. And she sells those soccer balls to the global market. Now, she has then joined forces with another woman who does a similar business, and they formed Dostri. And Dostri now supports more than 500 disabled people and widows, sells to a global market, and has shown that women, even in countries like Afghanistan, have the potential to become significant business owners and entrepreneurs. Yet often these women lack not the ambition or the aspiration to grow, but they lack the resources and the financial skills and the access to markets to actually grow their businesses. what we also see, and what I mentioned when I showed Johanna, is that our world faces significant social and environmental problems. We have environmental degradation, the loss of biodiversity, but also challenges like on the social side, like education, health provision, etc. Now, on this side, we need more social entrepreneurs to come forward and tackle those issues, and not just on a local scale, but actually on a global scale. And they have to be high impact by not only tackling those issues and solving them, but also by creating significant jobs, because that's also an issue our world faces. But women especially are drawn to social entrepreneurship. It lies to their natural interest. Often women are concerned about, like me, about environmental social issues. There are 3 reasons why we think we need to encourage more women to become social entrepreneurs, high-impact social entrepreneurs. The first one is economic impact. We need to create more jobs in our world, not just in Europe, but also in China, where a large percentage of students cannot find jobs upon graduation. And this is a strong source of political or potential political unrest in the future. The second one is social needs and the scale of our social and environmental problems. We cannot have only men tackling those issues. We need to encourage more women to step forward, to think about themselves, not as small business owners, but as large-scale social entrepreneurs. And the third one is because it lies in the interest of women. Now, one of the social entrepreneurs, one of the studies have shown that social entrepreneurs in the UK create disproportionately more jobs than business owners, than mainstream entrepreneurs. And they also create a higher turnover per employee than mainstream entrepreneurs. So one example I would love to give you, which some of you might be familiar with, is that of Wendy Koch, the founder of Teach for America. It's quite a very well-known NGO in the US. Wendy started Teach for America in 1990, based out of her university thesis. Her vision is to tackle inequalities in education, and she does that by identifying and selecting high-potential university graduates from the top schools and placing them into disadvantaged schools around the US. And those corps then teach for 2 years. And they have shown that they can improve mathematical skills in students and other crucial skills they need to actually perform and go to college and succeed in life. But the important point about this is that Wendy not only wants small organizations. If you want to tackle something like inequality of education, you have to think big. You have to be brave. And you have to have a big vision. So over the years, since 1990, she has selected and trained more than 20,000 of university graduates and placed them in schools. Her organization now has a turnover of more than $200 million, and she employs more than 1,400 people. So she not only succeeds in tackling her social issues, but she also creates the employment and the economic value. Now, how do we move women from being micro-entrepreneurs towards agents of change, towards being social entrepreneurs that really tackle social problems on a big economic scale? Women are drawn to entrepreneurship in the same rate as men, and there's almost no difference, though they face very gender-specific challenges. For example, when I run my business, because I run my own organization, I can take Hannah to the office. She's placed on the side with her IE, and she's happy. But there are many women who don't have that opportunity and who are faced with the challenge of childcare, who have to be home by 6 p.m. because the kindergarten closes, and all those kind of things. Women have lower access to networks. It's often male-dominated. When I worked in Malaysia, I remember I went to an event, and I was an employee back then, and my boss said, "Go network." This was all entrepreneurs. And I entered the room, and it was all men in their mid-40s with black suits, and I was the only girl in her early 20s, and I was like, please someone give me some glasses of champagne so I can pretend I'd be a waitress. I felt so uncomfortable being there. So it's a huge barrier for women to enter those kind of male-dominated networks. Now, we already know what works in encouraging entrepreneurship and women entrepreneurs. Combining business training with microloans enables women to improve their managerial skills, improve their cash flow, improve their operations, so that they can move from micro to small enterprises, that they can start employing a couple more people rather than just themselves. Access to peer networks. Entrepreneurs don't work in a vacuum. They don't work alone and sit and just work with their computer. They go out, they need to network, they need to talk to people. So creating peer learning networks or enabling knowledge holders, for example, business leaders, CEOs, to share their knowledge, share their networks with these entrepreneurs, has proven to be very beneficial for the women as well as for the enterprises. And lastly, more access to finances has proven that if you want to move from a small business, you need further loans, grants, and later on maybe equity to scale your enterprises. Now, in the last years, this wave of compassion and the wave of support that has supported micro-entrepreneurs has also left one void, which is that if women or children, anyone, when I ask you about who do you think is an entrepreneur, most people would answer someone like, a man in his mid-40s, mid-30s, successful. Very few associate entrepreneurship with women. Women is already often associated with micro-entrepreneurs. So we need to challenge our perception. And how we do that is by providing young people, other women, other girls, with positive role models. With those entrepreneurs, women entrepreneurs, who've already done it, who succeeded, who achieved scale, who achieved impact, and we bring them to classrooms. We run social media campaign, the media portrays them, so that it's not only Professor Yunus who's always standing out as a social entrepreneur, as great as he is, but that there are other women who you can associate yourself with. The wave of compassion that has supported micro-entrepreneurship has shown that women micro-entrepreneurs can achieve self-sufficiency, contribute to their societies, and make an economic impact. Women in war-torn areas have shown that they can contribute to peace and are the driving force of their economies. And women such as Wendy Cobb has shown that they can achieve groundbreaking, pattern-shaping social entrepreneurship, run social enterprise that really change systems. Now, working with social entrepreneurs in Asia over the last couple of years, I have no doubt that women have the potential and the aspiration to be successful social entrepreneurs, to really run social enterprises that achieve scale. But we need to invest into them. We need to identify those high potential women. We need to nurture them, and we need to also portray them to other girls to inspire them. Now, women are, if you collect them together, if you have a collective of women, they are a force for social change. And it is my work and my aspiration to lead and to support women to be at the forefront of change, not only as micro-entrepreneurs, but as women who really tackle our most pressing social and environmental issues in the world. And I hope you join this cause. Thank you.